Thank you for the invitation, and I will say just a few words about what we mean by AI today and what could be the impact on the workforce. I'm not a specialist of the wood industry, I'm a specialist of pricing. That may be interesting for you during this difficult time for the pricing and the tax and so on. So let's go for a very fast presentation about AI. So what we have behind this word, you know, this buzz about AI, it was information revolution, knowledge economy, digital revolution, industry 4.0, big data, machine learning, deep learning. What we have behind that? Well, the fundamentals are computing power. We forget about that, but the computer are necessary. And we talk about 100,000 times faster today with the GPU, not the CPU, the graphical processor unit, faster than 20 years ago. We have first the computing power, second, the telecommunication network. The exponential growth in network capacity, speed, storage, bandwidth, and also the third one is software engineering. The flexible programming, agile, embedded system, mobility between. But the fact is that today we have data, a lot of data. It's a digitization of the physical world into a virtual world. And the usage is expected to go up to 100, almost 200 zettabyte. And zettabyte, it's quite big. It's 1 following by 21 0 after. It's a lot of bytes. And if we had the Internet of Things, this sensor, some are talking between 100 billions to 1,000 billions, it's probably trillions, of connected device within your plant. You will have a lot of this sensor. So we are at this time, at this point. So a lot of room for more and more and more data. So data, telecommunication, computer, and software. And that's the buzz today, and why it's not only a buzz is because of these outstanding convergence of innovation pillars. 3 levels. The technology push. A lot of technology is coming in the market, actually. If we think about the cloud computing, Internet of Things, the robotic, AI, operation research, 3D, 5G, they are coming and ready to penetrate the market which is very huge. Think about any sector of economy, education, finance, health, mobility, logistics, wood industry. No industry is not impacted with the data, with the digital revolution. The third pillars, and we always forget about that one, but it's the most important, is the stakeholders are there. VCs are there, government are there, a lot of money is available. Only in Montreal city, we received in the last year $2 billion for research and tech transfer money around the AI. And finally, at the middle, this reverse triangle is the innovation model. We are talking about a flexible model, very flexible. We can start again an Amazon within our garage, and on the garage. If you think about that, 15 years ago, we were talking, what was the buzzword at 15 years ago? It was nanotechnology. What's the difference? Why it's still important, but why it's longer to penetrate the market? First, the technology was not so mature. A lot of research, fundamental research, was required at that time for nanotechnology. Second, the market was important, but not so large. Finance was not interested. Culture, politics was not interested with nanotechnology by itself. And the stakeholders was not really there because the time from the ID to the market was very long and very risky, which is not the case with AI. So you are an industry. Technology is a means. It's not an end for you. It's just a means. What you are looking for, it's, of course, creation of value. What's the value for your business, for your employees? And this is the core business. This is taken from PricewaterhouseCoopers. It's a very simple model, but quite good and simple. At the middle, this is the creation of value. 3 levels of creation of value. The first one is, of course, the productivity, reducing your costs through an efficient vertical and horizontal value chains. This is very important for manufacturing. The second one is to develop new digital products. This is also a second level, new products based on digital. Things about the car industry, automobile industries actually, they are not selling motors, they are selling new gadgets within the car. And the third one, it's the new business model. Things about Amazon. Amazon is nothing else than a new business model based on digital. They are still selling things like Sears, but they have a very good business model, actually. At the other layer is all these enabling technologies. A lot of enabling technology. I already talked a bit about that. Cloud computing, augmented reality, that's very important. Big data, smart sensor, 3D printing, and so on. And these technologies, the link between these technology and the creation of value is the data analytics. And this is very important. And if you have one thing to remember today, is data analytics. And what do we mean by data analytics? It's 3 levels. It's advanced analytics. The first one is descriptive analytics. This is statistic, understanding your data. This is the value. The value are within the data, and you have to understand these value. So this is data mining, business intelligence. The second one is predictive analytics. Based on that, can you predict the behavior of your customer? Can you predict the market? Can you predict something? This is predictive analytics. And this is where the machine learning AI terms came. We can now predict based on a picture that it's a cat, it's a dog. It seems very simple, but you can see some of your woods and say, no, this wood is good, this wood is no good, or this piece of wood, sorry about my, is good for that point, not for that. Only by looking at humidity, I don't know the form, so on. And the last one is the prescriptive analytic. This is operation research. Very important also. If you know how your customer behavior, that doesn't mean that you know how to operate your plants and decide the inventory and what we will prepare for the next seasons. So the true value of the data is through data analytics. So business intelligence, artificial intelligence, operation research, it's very wide. Think about AI today, about all these technology, digital technology. So that includes automation, robotic, machine learning, deep learning, decision making. Think about putting value through digital, through data. So for the remaining, I will just few words about what will be the impact in the. That's good for me here. That's good for you also. It's smaller, but it's still there. So I will continue because we have a few minutes. So this is, I would say, the point of view of most of the plus influent economists, influent economists. So this is, you will see. So with AI and digital, 60 years of research with a lot of lows and some high. And the high are quite recently with deep learning. So several methodologies has been working on, and still we are working on this technology. But the abundance of data, this is the main change. And even more to come with the Internet of Things that will come, has allowed some to emerge recently in the market. And mainly deep learning, machine learning. And Montreal is a strong place for that. And natural language processing for the bank, the chatbot, and all this stuff is coming. Today, many algorithms with a specific, very specialized impact exist and are significant for our economy. But it's very difficult to generalize this algorithm. If you develop an algorithm to detect, is it a cat or a dog? Well, the algorithm can be good, but only for that. It's quite limited. If you have a children, the only thing he knows is it's a cat, it's a dog. Well, it's a little bit. But disruptive technology are maturing. This is true. So the autonomous machine, the robot society, with long-term goals and intentions does not exist and will not be in the near and even long future. I was with, well, #1 in France about AI, and he's talking about 2 centuries before we have it. So a lot of time. So don't think about this society of robots. That's it. There will be an increasing number of AI technology with profound and positive impact on society by 2030. Many applications will have a significant impact on employment. And think about Facebook yesterday. The design, the regulation, and the policies to be developed will have an impact on the year to come. And we have to think about this right now. But clearly, it's not only a technological issues. So look back to better see the future. Automation technologies or digital technology today will generate significant benefits, lifting productivity and economic growth. Advancing automation has not historically reduced employment. It's mainly a job transformation than a job losses. And think about parallel autonomy. We will have assistant with robot. It will not replace your technician. It will not replace. 60% of occupation has at least 30% of constituent works activities that could be automated. By 2030, this is McKinsey Global Institute suggests that around 50% of work activities can be displaced. 50% displaced. And employment shifts can be painful on the short run, but rarely on the long run. And we are today in the long run. We are not only in the short one. So the historical record is largely comforting. But we may have a question which is different than the first industrial revolution, the second one or the third one, is that automation today will be more disruptive and different, or will historical precedent will hold? So the answer depends on the time horizons and the pace of future technology, and also of the specific economic center. It's quite different for the bank than it is for the wood industries. And we may say that the technology progress is probably not where you see it actually. Back to your creation of values, because this is the point here. So autonomous robots are not for tomorrow. So we have time to think about that. But you have to focus on an instrumented, connected, and optimized industries who will provide efficiency, cost benefits, and value through, I think, for your industry, 2 main domains. Advanced process control. just proactive maintenance practice. We're working a lot of that, and you have to be interested about that. And the advanced supply chain management, end-to-end, from more selected resources to more empowered customer. Choose the good resource at the good time, at the good place, for the good clients in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 months. I don't know. You know more about that. But with digitals, the information will come. And of course, in a transforming industry, an emerging bioeconomy business that you face it. So the conclusions is probably within your firm is to focus on people and culture to drive this digital transformation, not this robot. Don't think about this robot. It's about digital transformation by acknowledging the potential of digital and define the digital visions of your company, and that's come from the top management. Develop a digital culture within the company, develop skills in data analytics, and invest in capacities. But do not buy the hype, buy the reality. So this is just a brief presentation of what is AI and what is not AI. If you think about AI, about the robot that will replace your machine, I think it's not the good way to think about that. So thank you.